another half section ahead of us. We have a solution sessions, we have a panel discussion, and of course some concluding remarks. So I hope you can join us and rejoin us after lunch. And now, without further ado, I would hand over to my colleague Herbert Tretter, who will show us what Replace has achieved in the last 3 years. Herbert Tretter is a renewable energy expert and has joined the Austrian Energy Agency over 20 years ago, and he's seen many ups, maybe also some downs of Austrian and EU energy policy. Please give a very warm welcome to him. Herbert, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Karina. Yeah, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure for me being here in Brussels, and I would like to give a warm welcome to all the people who are joining today, also online. Yes, I'm a senior renewable energy expert, and I'm happy to be the coordinator of this interesting European Horizon 2020 project. Yes, I would also like to introduce my colleague Altan Sahin, who is the co-coordinator of this project. He's sitting here in front of me. Yeah. Yes, the overarching goal of Replace is to make heating and cooling for European consumers efficient, economically resilient, clean and climate friendly. So next. Yes, here you see an overview of what I would like to talk to you today. We will first discuss our challenges and objectives. Then I will present the outputs we have developed, the tools and information materials we have elaborated. And finally, I will show you what we did, what activities we did in the regions and in the nations. And we had 9 pilot regions, and there has been a lot of things going on that we will also hear later this morning in the solutions, in the afternoon in the solutions session. So when we started our project back 2019, the heating and cooling sector, what's going on? The heating and cooling sector consumed about 50% of final energy consumption of Europe, and the residential buildings the heat demand in this sector for space heating and for hot water production covered about 80% of that sector, and 2/3 of this energy amount was fossil fuel. And in 2019, about 58% of all space heaters were installed in EU 27 were inefficient non-condensing boilers, oil and gas boilers, and this have been 61 million units by that time. So our aim was to boost the phase out of inefficient and old heating systems by targeting consumers, investors and owners, as well as intermediaries, to help them to make informed decisions. Here we can see the project team at the kickoff meeting in Vienna 2019. A very well-motivated team, and I was really happy to work together with them for the last 3 years. And by that time, we have not been aware about the crisis that would be ahead of us. But it was very interesting to us to see then what can be done in the 9 regions because of this crisis and these challenges. And I think we worked out a lot of interesting approaches how to overcome the situation, and yeah, that was a very good team, and I think we brought about also an interesting impact in the regions. Some details about the project. Our main focus was residential buildings. The project had a budget of 2 million euros and 11 partners in 8 countries with 7 languages spoken. The project will end next month, so we are at the final steps of our project, and the Austrian Energy Agency is the coordinator of the project. Here you can see on the left hand the pilot regions. So there is a quite diverse conditions in the regions. So there are more mountainous regions like Castilla y León in Spain. That's the largest area of the pilot regions. Then there is Bavarian Oberland, and in Salzburg in Austria, and in the Rhodope Mountains in Bulgaria. There are also mountainous conditions in Bulgaria. There are, for example, many firewood ovens. The outstanding region is Slovenia, because the pilot region is the whole country. Then there are 2 regions in Croatia, and there is a region in Bosnia, it's the canton of Sarajevo, and a region in North Macedonia, that's the Skopje region. Also, the partners are quite diverse. The institutions range from regional to national energy agencies. We have research institutes. We have civic trust, for example, and we have also non-profit organizations. So the main challenge that we tackled from our view was to serve households with independent know-how, how to change systems, and supported this by information on sustainable solutions, on tools to find the most appropriate solution, and we also prepared best practice examples to learn from. So I will now show more details about these products that we produced. So here's an overview. We produced heating matrices that show which system fits to which house. We have developed a calculator. With help of this, you can make an easy do-it-yourself energy advice. And we have developed handbooks, one for end consumers and another one for professionals and for investors. And we also have a report with showing best practice examples, nearly 40 examples from the 9 pilot regions. This was the overview. Now I will show more details of the different tools. Here you can see the heating matrix. Every region developed the heating matrix for single and 2 family houses. And in the rows you can see the technologies that in each region suit for this type of houses. And from left to the right you can see, like in a traffic light system, you can see which system is appropriate for which house. On the left-hand side are houses that are very efficient, passive houses, and on the right side are houses that are high energy consuming per square meter. So that's an easy, quick overview for household owners to see which system fits to what quality of house. This is a screenshot of our calculator. That's a very quickly, easy to do tool. So with just a few steps you can get result for your specific house, what system fits to you, and you get technical and economical information from that. So that tool stems from an Austrian tool that's already has been used for 10 years already and is very wide known. And we were allowed in this project to adapt this tool and to adapt it to the 9 regions. The tool was developed by the Ministry for Climate Action in Austria from the Klimaaktiv program. Also Klimaaktiv is the national initiative to protect the climate. And we adapted this calculator, so the calculator now holds default values for 8 regions in terms of investment costs and running costs, and it has been translated, it runs in all languages, and for all regions it runs in English. The tool holds default values for single and double family houses and for larger block of buildings with up to 20,000 liters of oil consumption. So the users don't have to know too much to use this tool. Here you can see the results of this tool. The tool shows in the result sheet which renewable heating systems are recommended, and they are ranked according to the total heating costs, the annual heating costs. And the annual heating costs are calculated based on the investment, and they consider subsidies are considered, investment subsidies. We consider also fuel prices and CO2 prices and service and maintenance costs. So those figures are derived from the default values. And what is also shown for every technology is shown the savings in terms of annual costs and the savings in terms of tons CO2. On the next slide, you see that the tool does not hold only default values. You also can enter project-specific data, actual data. You click on the technology you're interested, then it expands, and then you can enter project-specific values for investment costs, for running costs, and then, for example, you can make comparisons of installers' offers with this tool. So, and there's a lot of other information, technology facts and so on, and where you get help in the region. So there's really a lot of information for professionals and for households. The tool can also be used as a white label tool, so professionals or public energy advice can use this tool. You just have to put a frame on the website of the third party, or you put the link to the calculator. If you are interested in using this tool, just contact the National Replace project partner, and this tool will run until the end of November 2025. So here you can see the cover sheets of the Replace handbooks. The handbooks for end consumers, for example, gives an overview of the climate-friendly technologies that can be used for residential space heating and hot water production. And it's easy to read, and it also shows which system can be combined. And it's shown also that the energy efficiency first principle is also an essential part of this handbook. The handbook for investors and professionals also includes a guidance on planning and on financing and on business models. So that are interesting information, compact and to the point. So the other report is the best practice report. Here you can find up nearly 40 projects from the 9 pilot regions. And these projects all have been realized under real local conditions, and they show that that changeovers are economically feasible and technically feasible. Yeah, with all these materials which we developed quite at the beginning of the project, we were able to launch campaigns in the 9 pilot regions. So the campaign started back 3 years ago, yeah. and 2 years ago, sorry, because the project started 3 years ago. And we made an approach. In every pilot regions, we built up local working groups. So every project partner invited the market actors in the regions, for example, the local and supra-regional authorities, representatives of end consumers, and of installers and of manufacturers, system manufacturers. And those people met several times, and they developed action plans how to phase out oil and gas and other inefficient fuels. And those action plans were developed according to the needs and to the barriers that are existing in the regions. So these action plans have been discussed and developed specifically and tailored for the needs in the regions. Yes, and we will hear later in the afternoon about the solutions that have been developed by these local working groups and examples for activities that were introduced are for example, the feasibility studies for changeovers. We made field trips. We made collective actions, also nearly every region made a collective action. In Austria, for example, we built up a one-stop shop for boiler replacement. So we will hear more about this, all of this in the afternoon in the solution session. And I would like to thank you for your attention now.
Thank you very much, Herbert. You could stay on. Let's see if there are any questions online. I see so far the obvious question at any event, will the slides be shared at the end of the event? The answer is of course yes. We will give you all the slides and all the information. If you have any other questions for project leader or a comment here in the audience, I also have a microphone for your questions or comments, if there are any you would like to share with us. If not, I would say for now we move on to the next talk, but please don't be shy, think about your questions, use the time also for your comments or to start a discussion. But many thanks, Herbert, for your talk and listening to it. It is quite crazy to think about the situation we are in.